Hey, it's Mommy's Hip Hop and R&B 103.5 The Beat, Pop and Key the People's Voice. Got some very special guests in the studio. Got my brother, Dr. Steve Gallen is here. Miami legend Kenny is here. And of course, I'm going to try to pronounce your name as you told me. Let me get a chance at this. Nicanson Guerrera.
Nicanson Guerrera, and thank
Yeah,
you for
that's what I
having
said. Nah, thank you for correcting me, brother. You're here to talk about the Mecca documentary. I want to start with you, sir. This was your brainchild. Can you please tell us about the Mecca documentary?
The Mecca documentary, Legends of Traz Powell Stadium, is a documentary about the most famous football stadium in the world. If you ask in a Miami resident, the documentary is about Traz Powell Stadium, a stadium that's been a focal point in our city and our community for decades, a stadium that has produced more NFL players than any other stadium in the world, and a stadium that is home to the voice, William "The Voice" Wilcox. And that's what the movie is about.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Why was it so important for you to create this documentary, to put such light on this amazing facility?
It was very important to make this documentary because I felt like our stories weren't being told in Miami as they should be. But we have a lot of great stories, a lot of great people, like you have Kenny Phillips and Dr. Gallen here with us today, and they have their stories about Traz Powell as well. So being at the stadium and being from Miami, I just realized everyone had some type of encounter with Traz Powell Stadium. So it was a community landmark, and I felt that we should share that community landmark with the rest of the world.
I'm so happy you did it. I myself have a story. I do a festival each year called the People Matter Festival, and a couple of years ago I did it at Traz Powell Stadium, and it was a great experience and legendary to even do it there. So I feel like I have my little piece of this as well, man. So I'm so glad you did this. I want you to now take the opportunity, because I know you're about to jump on a flight and, you know what I mean, and do all these different things, to push this and film festivals and stuff like that. But please introduce Dr. Steve Gallen and Kenny, and explain to our audience why they're sitting there and why they're involved in a part of the Mecca documentary story.
Well, Dr. Steve Gallen III and Kenny Phillips are executive producers on the Mecca documentary. And they were a choice to be a part of the executive producer and the producer family because they are a representation of what the Mecca stands for. Not only have they all played at the stadium, but they're community leaders, community members, and the Mecca is a story about bringing everyone together, and no one does it better than Dr. Steve Gallen and Kenny Phillips.
That is correct, man. Listen, I know you got to get ready for that film festival, so I'm going to let you go and I'll chop it up with these amazing brothers about your incredible documentary. Thank you once again so much for having the vision and the wherewithal to do this. We really appreciate you, King.
Thank you, and I see everyone on Sunday,
All
12:30 at the
right.
Olympia Theater.
Well, listen, don't skip over that. Give that plug. And then when you finish giving that plug where you need people to be on Sunday, please let everybody know how they can follow you and the information they need to follow the journey of the Mecca documentary.
Okay, great. Well, I'm gonna have to get out of here, but I want to see everyone Sunday at the Olympia Theater, 12:30 p.m. is the Mecca Road premiere as part of the Miami Film Festival. You can get your tickets at the MiamiFilmFestival.com or at the Mecca Movie on Instagram. That way you can keep up on all information to Mecca.
Sounds great, my brother. All right. Talk to you soon, okay?
All right, talk to you guys soon. Thank you for having me.
All right, so I'm here now. What's good, man, with the world famous Dr. Gallen, man. Your picture of running through Northwestern, and I mean, it stays like a stain in my brain, sir. I don't know, if you work out every day, I'm sure you do, man, but how'd you pull that off?
Listen, man, that has gone viral. I think we're in the hundreds of thousands of views across the world. It was really a recreation and a request from the class of 2005. Shout out to my students in the class of 2005. Their theme was they're still wilding out. So they wanted to recreate some of the scenes that became legendary as it relates to my interaction with them as principal. And I obliged.
Right, right,
I mean,
right.
from running across the hill to jumping the fence to running in the pork and bean projects, what's left of it.
Yeah.
Because we need to get that as a part of the shot. But it was a great experience, and again, to be able to have my students 20 years later to
Right.
still want to maintain that connection and relive those moments. and have me to revisit the lessons on life that I tried to instill in them was incredible.
On that note, I want you to also tell the audience, a little bit of history on you, you know, especially here in South Florida as an educator and now, of course, on the school board.
You know, Papa PK, looking at 36 years right now. 36 years I've been cutting my teeth in public education. Started here as a teacher, obviously. After graduating from Northwestern High School, became an assistant principal, the youngest in Dade County history, youngest principal at 26, principal at 28 at Northwestern. Became a district administrator, and then was blessed to become the first Black educator to start their career in Dade County Public Schools to become a superintendent. I went and did that stint for about 3 years, and man, playing God laughs. And God brought me back here to answer the call of service, to answer the call of leadership, and to serve on the school board for District 1, which we had some tremendous challenges, of which we still have. But over the past 9 years, we have realized tremendous successes coming from having the highest number of F schools in Dade County to now having 75% of the schools in District 1 are either A or B with no F or D schools. That's a testament to leadership. That's a testament to our parents, our community members, our teachers, our principal leaders. And again, shout out to you, brother, because you also provided a platform during that journey for me to remind the public that it ain't just me. I'm just a conduit. That everybody has to put their shoulder to the wheel of this work. I remember coming into the studio with you talking about education and how important community and parental engagement was. And again, it's an amalgamation of everybody's contribution. So we have work to do. It's very difficult days ahead, but my life and my lessons and my learning have taught me that in dark times, we always find light.
That is correct, man, and you've done a phenomenal job, I must add, and then we've took it a step further with hooking up some of your district students with some prom outfits and, stuff like that. So, like sometimes, it starts off little or it starts off as just an interview and then we make a connection, and you've been such a great educator to me. You've taught me a lot with my stint in campaigning and other things. So just for the record, man, I just want people to understand that you all that and a bag of chips with the dip.
Hey, that's love, man. That's love.
Man.
Everything matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, thank you for your contribution.
No, for
You
sure,
stepped
man.
up to say, what can I do?
Right.
My late father would always say, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And every contribution matters in the learning and in the lives of our children.
Big facts, man. I love you, Doc. Kenny,
Good.
glad to have you, man. How are you?
I'm good.
That's what's up, man. I also want to thank you for your contributions, man. You know what I mean? You put your body and your brain and a lot of things on the line, man, to represent us on the big stages and stuff like that. I'd like for you to humbly, because I know how you are, please please let everybody know a little something, a little history on you as well.
I appreciate you allowing me to come up here and be with around greatness.
Yes, sir.
But Kenny Phillips, born and raised in Miami, Florida, attended Carroll City High School, played basketball, football, ran track while I was there, earned a scholarship to the University of Miami. I played there for 3 years before I was drafted in the first round by the New York Giants. A few years later, won the Super Bowl, and that's pretty much the gist of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That's a beautiful story. A lot of people don't have that experience. They all go in thinking like, hey, man, I made it to the league, but not everybody can walk away with that ring and be a part of a championship team like that and just have that experience. I mean, you did it in 2 seconds, but that's legendary, bro. I have to let you know that.
I appreciate that.
And we appreciate you, man. We really do, man, because you're a product of us. You're a product of, South Florida. And a lot of people are watching this, and they could only hope to have the opportunity and walk the path that you walk, brother. So I just want to.
I do want to say I am a graduate of the University of Miami. I did get my degree, so.
Listen, that's very important.
Yeah.
And listen. He talking about around greatness. When we talk about, and I had the pleasure as a graduate of Northwestern and being principal for 7 years with some of what the world has found to be some of the great ones. Shout out to Levante David, was a student of mine in elementary school and at Northwestern, and now he
just retired,
and he will be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So I've had an opportunity to be around some tremendous student athletes, but I would tell you, Kenny Phillips is the epitome of what we want in our student athletes, what we want in our children, what we want in our fathers, our brothers, our neighbors. And I mean, he's one of the most humble guys, but I think his greatest championships are yet to come because he is a tremendous father and a community advocate. He has not begun to talk about how he supports the work that we do
Mhm.
in District 1, not just at Carroll City Senior High School, but through his not-for-profit work and just his overall presence and contribution. I'm just blessed to be a part of this project with Kenny, and
Mhm.
he
Yeah,
epitomizes what we want all of our young student athletes to represent. And he was one hell of a football player. He
Right.
was humble
That's
on
a
that.
fact.
I mean, when they watch the documentary, they're gonna get a taste of
Yeah.
who Kenny Phillips was. He was that dude.
Right,
He
right.
was that dude. Okay, he was that dude.
Well, I'm happy you stepped up for him because he's so humble. He would not have said half of the stuff you said. So thank you for doing that. Which brings us to, if you think about it, two people on the top of their game, one in the sports arena, one in the education arena. Now you both are teaming up to do something that's going to educate people about sports and about this amazing place that we call the Mecca. Why did you decide to get involved with this project? Why was it so important to you?
Well, I was just blessed initially to engage with Nickerson as a subject.
Mm,
I was one of the individuals interviewed based on my long history in Dade County Public Schools at Northwestern, having some strong voice for advocacy for our student athletics at the high school level. And as I saw this project evolve, while he was in the post production phase, I said, I need to do whatever I can to
mm.
avail any and all resources that I have to invest in this project to make sure that it becomes a reality. After speaking to Kenny, who was already on board, we talked about it. I wanted to be a part of the project, not simply from my obligation as a former student athlete, which I played in the Mecca. I was on the team in the Mecca, but I didn't start in the Mecca. Hell, I don't know, recall starting in the Mecca, but I was on the team.
Right,
I
right.
was there in blue and gold, and a lot of that was but those are hard lessons that I learned, which were very powerful lessons
Mhm.
that brought me to this particular place. So I wanted to be a part of that project. And as you look at the timeline when he first started the project, we were going through, which we still are, some difficult times in public education, quite frankly, in society, as it
Mhm.
relates to the issue of Black history.
Yeah.
So this is not just simply a story, a movie, a documentary about athletics. The backdrop is, how do we embrace and understand the history of athletics in Dade County? What is the history of the Traz Powell Stadium? Who is Traz Powell and
Mm.
what is his life, his leadership, and his legacy, and what does that represent in the history of Miami during some very difficult and racially divisive times? So we have an obligation. I had an obligation to be a part of preserving history
Mm.
for generations to come, and I was very excited about the project. And it's one hell of a project. I love sports. If you love Friday Night Lights, if you
Yeah.
love Miami and South Florida football at the Mecca, go and see and support the Mecca.
That's what's up. Kenny, for you as well, what does this mean to you, having some time there, real experiences in the Mecca, to now have this opportunity to bring this light to it, to this light to your actual experience?
yeah, like similar to the Dr. Gallen. Like I was, just sitting down for an interview, just a subject at the end of the
Right.
day. But once I saw the trailer and like it started to give me chills, and it just took me back there to my playing days, and I really appreciated what Nick was doing and what he was trying to do, like the education behind it. Traz Powell, like I say, it was to us, we just it's Traz Powell Stadium. Like
Yeah.
we had no idea. I had no idea that it was actually named after someone. So it
Mm.
was just the history around it is what really made me want to get involved and make sure that I reach out to use my resources. The former players, the guys who played in the stadium, some of the coaches, to make sure we had an authenticity when it comes to making this film. And like I say, man, if you a football fan, not just a football fan, but like just track, we had track athletes come through
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
Olympians. Like
Mhm.
it's the dancers that you see. It's just an amazing, amazing documentary, and it gives you a lot of history on, not only just Trash Power, but just Mr. Wilcox and just community. But like I say, it's what 40 to 60 schools that share that one stadium.
Mhm.
No school in Dade County have their own stadium, so basically all of us call that place home. So when we go there to compete and we play like it, that's why it's intense.
Right.
So that's why the rivalry's there. That's why
Mhm.
guys get pushed and make it to the NFL because just the competitive nature that we have, try to protect the home.
Listen, I want to dive into, you know, the kids, the future of this documentary. What would you really like to see them get out of it, Kenny? Like, when you see younger kids watching this, that may not understand or may not know the history of it? What would you like to see? Because I feel like a part of this for you too is to really educate, some of our younger folks based on like what really went down or what really happened or how much this place really means.
Yeah, it's this generation is a lot different.
Right,
Yeah, you know what I'm
right.
saying? I don't want to say bad or good, but it just is different.
Mm,
And when we played back then, like it really meant something to us. You know, it's like we really, for a lot of us, it was a way out. It was an
mm,
opportunity for us to put on for the community and put on like there'll be times where you'll have 50 to 100 scouts just around one game.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So like for us, it was an opportunity to, hey man, this is my chance to get a scholarship or make this catch in front of these people. For some guys, for the girls, or whoever you want to put on for, but it really meant something to us. So I would like to the guys like this generation to really understand like, hey man, like it's bigger than NIL. Like do it for the love of the game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like do it to really put yourself in position to move your family, put them in a better situation. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah,
No, I appreciate
Kenny
that.
said it was about 50 to 100 scouts at the game. We all know maybe 75 were there for Kenny Phillips. We know that. We know that. But he hit it right on the mark.
Mm,
I often talk about projects such as this is a contribution to our legacy. And
mm,
what does legacy reflect? For me, I've defined legacy as something in which some people plant seeds that grow trees that bear fruit from which they may never eat.
mm,
So when you look at the NIL, people like Kenny Phillips, Roland Smith, I mean, Sean Spence, Ja'Cory Harris, Levante David, a lot of these people who played in that stadium, and we can go on and on and on. They made the sacrifices. They struggled through college. They did not have the benefit of their name, image, and likeness being able to be profitable to them and their families. So people sacrificed. And it's important for us to make sure that our young people know from whence we came. We have open access in education right now. Student athletes can play for one school one year, one school the next year,
yeah.
and in some cases in the same year. We come from a generation where he had to represent Carroll City. He couldn't transfer or he would have to forfeit a year. I was at Northwestern. We had to play within our own community zone. And had a spirit of loyalty and dedication and commitment. Those are some of the things that we face challenges with now. And I think we have to make sure that we tell our story. Miami has become, let's say it, an international hub for the arts. Yes, I'm an educator, but when I was principal, I was the principal that facilitated Take It to the House with Trick Daddy video. That was under my
Yes.
watch. Okay. Okay. Shut up. I was the one as the young principal bringing those kinds of experiences to the forefront, or even the controversial Year of the Bull. I was the
Mhm,
principal during that time, but
mhm.
that was groundbreaking at the time for you to get a peek into what the intensity of high school sports looked like. Now we look at what's happening in our community. Too often, people tell our stories.
Yeah.
So you juxtapose that issue of people telling our stories with people trying to mitigate and or erase Black history. We have an obligation. So this is our contribution as Damon John, that's his name,
Mhm.
FUBU,
Yeah, 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 for us
by
guys.
us.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is a for us, by us initiative to make sure that we have an opportunity to tell our story. I've done a few documentaries. Nick has done some movies, and we're going to continue to collaborate on some projects to make sure that we leave a legacy for those that come behind us.
I want to thank you both for taking that step and doing this. This is going to be amazing. I know there's Sunday, as Nick had already mentioned, there's an event, a film festival, correct?
Yes, we were fortunate enough to get through this process. Nick's leadership, his diligence, our persistence. We're executive producers, but we're not easy on Nick.
Right.
Okay, he's the art, but we actually, want to make sure that there is a commitment to move this project through, and so that the world can see it. And we're very fortunate that he has landed us into being selected for the Miami Film Festival. So
Congratulations
this
on
is
that.
a huge deal. It's a great platform,
Mhm.
creates an opportunity for more people around the world to see it, and create another opportunity for us to tell more stories, because this is just one story.
Yeah,
There's so many stories to be told. And we
absolutely.
have an opportunity, but we also have an obligation to utilize our resources, be it financial, relationships, or otherwise, to create a space for filmmakers such as Nick and others to tell the story of what happens in Miami-Dade, the county of Dade, the 305.
That part. I want to say thank you to Nick, Kenny, Dr. Gallen. I really appreciate you all. Cannot wait for this doc. Is there a timeline?
Well, Sunday, the clock starts ticking Sunday for the
Okay.
world premiere
Okay.
at the Miami Film Festival, the Mecca, 12:30 at the Olympia Theater.
Okay. Gotcha.
Get there. Get there. We need you there. We need you there. So we're excited about that.
Right.
And then obviously that process takes its course.
Mhm.
When you start talking about distribution, talk about
Yes,
different
yes,
platforms, talk about other venues and opportunities that can come about it. And Kenny is already, as an executive producer, has started those conversations in different circles. Nick does what he does, and I'm just here, blessed to be a part of the process for the ride.
Well, keep me in the loop with that so we can continue to support this event, because it's going to have to be a continual support type situation, man. But I'm very excited for not all of you, but for all of us who are going to have the opportunity to partake in seeing history, the history of the Mecca documentary, man. So congratulations
Thank you.
to you both. Nick, I know you had to run.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations to you too, brother. And thank you so much.
And PK, thank you, man.
Oh,
sir.
love,
Real,
man.
real recognize real. I always say that. Real recognize real. You talk about your stint, man. You have a journey that's going to continue.
Yes, sir.
Our work, our service, our commitment, our leadership ain't predicated on titles. It's predicated on what we doing. You keep doing the damn thing, bro.
Listen, I can't take what you taught me and not utilize it. So
Much love, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
All right, Doc. Kenny,
All right,
appreciate you, man. Thanks
Sir,
again.
yes,
This was
sir.
a pleasure and an honor, sir, for real. All right, it's 135 The Beat.